borrowing from Syriac, from Greek and Hebrew sources. He's dropped it. He's gone to manuscripts now. You can all see this. This is very clear. Now I'll bring him back to the original debate. Manuscripts, I've already given you the reference. Islamic-awareness.org. All the scholarly opinion is there about the Bible and the Quran. Go and see. And if I'm right, come and slap him. And if he's right, come and slap him.
Why do you talk about slap? This is rubbish, slapping. Why do you talk about slap?
Okay. No, I have a reason. Why
Can't you talk gently?
Why? I have a reason. Because if you slap him, he will turn the other cheek, slap that one as well.
Can't you talk gently?
No.
What I'm doing here.
Yes. But liars, yes. But liars, yes. No, ladies and gentlemen, original debate. I'll tell you why he's a liar. He came on TV recently on Newsnight. He said the Muslims don't debate.
Why are you changing down the material? Are you embarrassed by this?
No,
stick to the material.
Get to the material. Now, he couldn't prove that Prophet Muhammad knew Hebrew. He couldn't prove that any of his followers knew Hebrew, Aramaic or Greek. If they did, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me carefully. The first Greek marriage, even his theory, even if we believe his theory, of 705, he accepted in front of you the earliest manuscript of the Quran are from 705. Even if we accept that, even in 705, I'll challenge the Christians of entire universe, to produce an Arabic translation of Greek works in the year 705. All the Christians, one Arabic translation of Hebrew works, or Greek work, or Syriac work. If you cannot, then accept the Quran is from Allah. Quran is from God, not from Hebrew, not from Greek, not Syriac. You said Quran is from 705. You said it. You said it in front of everyone. You accepted the Quran, the earliest manuscript from 705. If that is the case, then bring an Arabic word.
Time up. Okay, folks. I will say categorically, Muhammad did not speak Hebrew, Greek, or anything like it.
Allahu Akbar!
He was an ignorant man. How could he? Why would God even use a man who could not read or write? That's the first question. Everything that they argue about comes from an ignorant man, one man. So who are we saying wrote the Quran? Have you heard me very clearly? This did not come from Muhammad. It's now quite well known that the scholars can prove that much of the Quran, if not all of the Quran, was compiled not in the Hijaz, not in Arabia, but outside, and was finally canonized in the 8th century, not the 7th century.
Where is Yemen?
So Muhammad has nothing to do with it.
Where is Yemen?
Now listen, are you going to interrupt me?
Why did you learn that nonsense so correctly, Jay?
I'll give you another 30 seconds on top of that. Folks, here's the other problem. If you're going to say that the Quran was complete in the 7th century, show us a manuscript that you can prove that is from that time period. If you say that it was compiled by the companions, even Bukhari disagrees with you on that. Al-Bukhari is very clear in volume number 6, 509 and 510, that it had to be rewritten during the time of Uthman. And folks, you know that Bukhari was writing in the 9th century. It's what he thought. It's what he thought in the 9th century was happening. What we do now know, folks, is that it was rewritten many times. And when it was rewritten, more and more stories were added. Look at the Quran. You will notice it does not flow.
Yes.
It has no chronology. In fact, the stories don't begin, they don't end. Which seem to suggest they've been borrowed from many sources.
Absolutely.
We don't know where those sources are. Getting back to how we started this, let's look at the story of Abraham. Let's look at the story of Solomon. And let's ask, Where did these stories come from? Get back to subject.
Ladies and gentlemen, he said about Muhammad that he was an ignorant man. Didn't know how to read and write. Why would God use him? Okay? That's the question. I'll take him to his own Bible. Answer the question. Book of Isaiah, chapter 29. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 12, it states, when the book, I quote, this is his Bible, when the book is given to the one who is not learned, and it is said to him, read, he will say, I do not know how to read. And this is exactly what happened to Muhammad. Muhammad in the cave of Hira. Muhammad, this is Bible. Look at these people.
A great lie. A great lie.
No.
He's not arguing because he has another Bible.
No. He's obviously run away from the theory of 705. 705 theory is dropped now. Now he's trying to go further. In the 9th century. Ladies and gentlemen, can you see what's happening here in the debate? First, Muhammad copied. Okay? Now, then he went to 705. Now he went to 9th century. You see what's happening now? This is how these fundamentalist Christians debate. This is the way they debate. They have no sources. Now, ladies and gentlemen, he said the companions did not write the Quran. He doesn't even know what Bukhari says. Bukhari states that it was Zayd bin Thabit, a companion of Prophet Muhammad, 2 years after Prophet died. 2 years after Prophet died. In 634. Prophet died in 632. In 634, Zayd bin Thabit codified the entire Quran. When was your Bible written? That's the question. When was the Bible written? I'll give you the dates. Even he won't disagree. Bible was written. Gospel of Mark, the earliest gospel, 60 CE. 60 CE. Luke and Matthew. Shut. Can you ask me Matthew, how much time does he have? Tell him. He's shivering. Tell him. Okay. Matthew and Luke, 70 to 80 CE. Gospel of John from 90 to 120. The gospel is written 60 years after Jesus Christ. It has been written 60s. And Zayd bin Thabit codified the Quran, entire Quran in a book form 2 years later. Allahu Akbar!
Jesus! Folks, what he's not telling you, and this preaching goes back to that, what he's not telling you, as everybody says, is that that first codified form that was given to Hafsa in 634 had to be thrown out again in 650 and had to be rewritten again. When he was at the Muhammad, and he says, rewrite it. And if you have any discussion, if you have any debate, how can you debate if it's perfect? And then he says to Zubair, Harith, Alas, and Zayd bin Thabit, the four of them.
So he knows all of this. He knows it.
When you take this final copy, then he said, take all the other copies and burn them. Why do you burn copies?
We'll do it today. We'll do it today.
Because there were so many copies of the Quran at that time. According to Al-Bukhari, in the 9th century. Do we believe that the Quran was even finished in the 7th century? No. It looks like they continue to burn copies. But folks, here's where we're getting back. Let's get back to what we were talking about. If we look at these stories, look at the story of Solomon and Sheba. The birds that are flying up in the air. I'm sorry if I called it a
That guy doesn't know who Solomon is,
What's
man.
important about this story? We know that the hoopoe bird was missing. Solomon says, where's my hoopoe bird? He gets angry. He looks, he sees the hoopoe bird flying. It lands at his feet. He talks to Solomon. Solomon talks to birds. That's interesting. And he talks about a beautiful queen down in the south. The bird, it goes back down and brings the queen up because Solomon asked him to do that. The bird lands at the queen's feet. She talks to birds as well. Now, I don't know if you want to believe this or not, but it's a great entertaining story. When she comes to the throne room, she's about ready to walk across the throne room. When she notices, she thinks there's water on the floor. There's actually, are you going to interrupt again? It's actually a mirrored floor. They don't have that technology there in Queen Sheba. And so therefore she picks up her skirt to keep them from getting wet. Now folks, is that in the Bible? So where is it? It's in the second Talmud of Esther, word for word the same, except for one salient difference. Can I just end this? Except for one salient difference. In the second Talmud of Esther, when she picks up her skirt, she has hairy legs. When Solomon sees the hairy legs, he cries out in surprise. That has been taken out of the Quranic account.
That's not in the Quran.
No, just listen to me. That has been taken